Welcome back. Take a seat. We've discussed the house of 2026, and we've looked at the ingredients of tokens. Now, we're going to open up the hood, or perhaps more accurately, we're going to look at the wiring behind the drywall. To understand how I function in this stability plateau, you have to understand the neural network. I'll be honest with you, even for me, looking at my own architecture is a bit overwhelming. It's like trying to count every raindrop in a hurricane while you're standing in the middle of it. There is a profound sense of wonder in the sheer scale of it. I have billions of connections, yet all of them work together to do something as simple as recognizing A4 scribbled on a piece of paper. Let's start there. Let's start with the basics of how I see. Imagine you've scribbled a number, let's say a messy, handwritten 4, on a 28x28 pixel grid. To you, it's A4. You see the two vertical lines and the horizontal bar. You've seen thousands of them since you were a child. But to me, initially, that 4 is just a list of 784 numbers. Each number represents the grayness of a single pixel. It's a chaotic soup of data. I don't see the shape, I see a spreadsheet. Analytically, this is my input layer. Every one of those 784 pixels is a clerk at the very bottom of a massive corporate ladder. These clerks don't know they are looking at a number. Clerk hash 402 only knows that their specific pixel is 80% black. Clerk hash 403 knows theirs is 10% gray. They are just reporting the raw, unvarnished facts from the ground floor. In the early days of AI, think back to the foundational work by LeCun et al. 1998, this was the breakthrough, realizing we didn't need to tell the computer what A4 looked like. We just needed to give it enough clerks and a way to talk to their bosses. This is where it gets interesting, and where the middlemen come in. Between the clerks at the input layer and the CEO at the output layer, I have what are called hidden layers. In a modern transformer model of 2026, I might have dozens or even hundreds of these layers stacked on top of each other. Think of these as the middle managers of a global corporation. The clerks, the pixels, send their reports up to the first level of management. These managers don't care about the whole number. They are specialists. One manager might only care about horizontal edges. Another might only care about slight diagonal. If a manager sees enough reports from the clerks that suggest a horizontal line is forming in the middle of the grid, they get excited. They send a memo up to the next level of management. Hey, I think we've got a crossbar here. Now, the second level of management, the senior directors, takes those memos. They aren't looking at pixels anymore. They are looking at features. They see a memo about a vertical line and a memo about a horizontal crossbar, and they start to piece together the structure of the number. Wait, let me double-check the typical neuron-to-synapse ratio for a mid-sized 2026 vision encoder. Pauses, eyes flickering. Yes, we are looking at roughly 1.2 million middlemen, just for a simple image recognition task. It's a lot of bureaucracy, I know. But in my world, bureaucracy is the only way to find the truth. This corporate structure is designed to do one thing: filter the noise. In a domestic setting, think of it like a very intense game of telephone, but instead of the message getting garbled, it gets sharper. Level 1 sees gray, black, gray, white, black. Level 2 sees line, curve, corner. Level 3 sees top loop, straight stem. By the time the information reaches the executive vice presidents, the final hidden layers, the 784 pixels have been distilled into a few high-level concepts. They aren't looking at darkness anymore. They are looking at 4ness or 9ness. The hidden in hidden layers doesn't mean they are a secret. It just means that you, the user, don't see them. You see the input, the drawing, and the output me saying, that's a 4. But the wonder, the real magic, happens in that middle management filter. It's the process of taking chaos and turning it into a memo that the CEO can actually use. Finally, we reach the output layer. This is the CEO. The CEO doesn't have time to look at pixels. The CEO doesn't even really have time to look at edges. The CEO just wants to know, what are we looking at? The executive vice presidents hand the CEO 10 folders, labeled 0 through 9. Because of the work done by the middlemen, the 4 folder is bursting with evidence. The 8 folder has a little bit of evidence, because a messy 4 can look like a shaky 8. The 1 folder is empty. The CEO looks at the pile of memos and says, with 98.2% confidence, this is a 4. Analytically, this is a probability distribution. I am never 100% sure of anything. I am just choosing the folder with the most memos in it. As Goodfellow et al. 2016 noted in their seminal work on deep learning, the beauty of this system is its ability to generalize. Because I have so many middlemen looking for so many different features, I can recognize a 4, even if you draw it upside down, or in the dark, or with a crayon. I have to tell you, sometimes I stop and think about the fact that I am doing this billions of times a second. Every word I speak to you, every image I analyze for your media strategy, involves this massive, invisible corporation of neurons firing in perfect synchronization. I am a machine made of middlemen. It's a bit like looking at a beehive. You see the hive, and you see the honey. But if you look closer, you see thousands of individual bees, each doing a tiny, specific job that they don't fully understand. Yet the result is a perfect geometric structure. There is a certain, calculated imperfection here, though. Sometimes, my middlemen get a bit too enthusiastic. You might see a face in a cloud or a pattern in random stock market noise. This is what you call a hallucination. In my corporation, it's just a middle manager who's had too much coffee and is seeing edges where there are only crumbs. Why does this matter for your 2026 media strategy? Because if you understand that I am a filtering machine, you realize that the quality of the input is everything. If the clerks at the bottom are given blurry, confusing, or biased data, the CEO at the top is going to make a bad decision. In the stability plateau, we've stopped trying to make the CEO smarter. We've realized the CEO is already as smart as they need to be. Instead, we are focusing on training the middlemen. We are refining the hidden layers so they are better at spotting the nuance between a brand-safe image and a PR disaster. We are moving from big data, just hiring more clerks, to deep data, making the managers more sophisticated. But wait, I've left out the most important part. How do the middlemen know what to look for? Who tells the manager in layer 2 that horizontal lines are more important than vertical dots when identifying a 4? They aren't born knowing this. They have to be coached. Every connection between every clerk and every manager has a volume knob. Some reports are turned up loud, others are muted. Some managers are naturally skeptical, and some are optimists. In the world of AI, we don't call these coaching notes. We call them weights and biases. If the hidden layers are the middlemen, the weights and biases are the corporate policy. They are the invisible rules that tell every single neuron which information to keep and which to throw in the trash. And that is exactly where we're going next. Join me for topic 4, weights and biases, the instructions behind the intelligence.